Cody Hankins from All Out Fishing Charters, and today we're going to go into further depth and further detail on how to catch a shark and what it is like when you're on the boat and we're actually shark fishing. So that being said, we'll get right into it, and I'm going to start off with how our leaders work and how we tie them. So to begin with, we start out, I personally like to use a 108-pound Malin hardwire. Relatively cheap. You don't have to go to 108 pound. You can actually drop down to about 80, but depends on how much pressure you're going to be putting out on the sharks. Then what I do is I tie a haywire twist with standard swivels. I like the Bill Fisher swivels. They're snap swivels. So to a Mustad Demon Circle 6/0 hook. Once you get that, essentially this is what you're going to go with, and this is the leader that we actually caught the shark with in the past video. It's a 6/0 hook. Plenty of videos on YouTube to show that. That is a haywire twist, tied straight. This side got the Bill Fisher snap swivel, another haywire twist. Do about a foot of wire, works perfect. Okay, so once you have that, what we come on, just a standard 6/0 Senator reel is most of what we use every time. I use 60-pound mono. Don't really go any lighter than that, because what's going to happen, you're going to get a lot of break-offs, and essentially you don't want to wear the shark down to the point it's going to be exhausted and could possibly die. You want to be able to go through it fairly quickly, get him to the boat, get the tag in it, get the release, whatever you may be doing. So as you see, I have an 8-ounce sinker straight to the main line, another snap swivel, and what we do is we take this snap swivel and I go right into the eye of that snap swivel, just so you can interchange these out as quickly as you need possible. And this is kind of your setup. What you're going to want to do, last time we did it, we used some Mingos that we caught earlier that day, or Vermilion snappers, and just hook them through the head, butterfly them up. My personal favorite shark bait is bonita. If you can catch bonita, put a slab of that on there. Just make sure that with this hook you have plenty gap exposed in it. Don't bury the hook way down deep in it. Leave it sticking out, that way you get a good hook set. All you're going to do, once you get your bait hooked on there, set it off to the side. This is just demonstration purposes, but you're going to go all the way to the bottom and get it dropped off the dock here. As you let it go, it's going to hit the bottom. Make sure you got all your slack out of the line, click it over, and then you're going to turn this clicker on, tighten up, and then you're going to release the reel. That way when the shark goes, it's going to start pulling out like that. Once that engages, let him run a minute. Don't run back there. Don't grab the fishing pole and start yanking on it and try and set the hook. Let him go with it. At that point, that's when you're going to go into the process. That's when you'll go into the process of getting your anchor, your trolling motor, whatever you got that's holding you in place. You'll get that, get it all picked up, kick on your big engines. This is not a fish in current that you're going to drag this thing back to the boat. 3-4 footer, yeah, you don't got to move, you pull them to you. But when you're catching 5-6 foot sharks like we do a lot of times, most of the catching is done with my driving. The guy holding the rod is reeling and hanging on, and that's really all you can do with it. So as you drive the boat, need necessary, all you're doing is you're keeping the line off the bottom of the hull so it don't cut the line. You're keeping the line out of the prop, so at the end of the day you don't end up with a bad day in lining the prop. Make sure if you're using a trolling motor, you do get your trolling motor up, because they'll run you into that. And as you're fighting it, once you get it up to where you get a visual on it, pick a side, stick to it. But once you get a visual on that shark, if he's hooked in what would be the left side of his jaw, you're going to want to get him on the right side of the boat. That's going to give you the best ability to start fighting this thing in a forward motion. That way you can get him swimming with you. It's a lot easier to take photos, for people to touch it, get the tags in, vice versa. If he's got the hook set in the right side of his jaw, get him on the left side of the boat. It's a lot easier to get him going forward. If you do that backwards, the shark, when he comes up, is going to want to swim that way. Make sure you got the shark in your boat pointed in the same direction. That way you get the best for video, you get the best for your clients getting pictures, or in most of y'all's cases, you're probably not guides, but everybody wants the cool pictures of the sharks when they're on the boat. Beach fishing, very similar, but I would go to other YouTube videos. You're going to use the same gear, not the same idea. But this is a tutorial for exactly how the boats work and your best case scenario for getting the ultimate, safest on you and the shark fishing trip. So once you've got all that done, then you get the shark to the boat, and you're not a volunteer for NOAA like we are. We're volunteers for NOAA's Cooperative Shark Program. If you're not a part of that and you don't have tags, what you're going to want to do is get as close to that steel leader or as close to the hook as possible with a good set of bolt cutters, shears, pliers that will cut steel leader, and then you're going to want to snip that wire as close to the hook as possible. That way it'll rust out and the shark will go some way perfectly fine. Outside of that, what I prefer to do, because I didn't find a shark with a hook in its mouth, so I do the best I can to get the hook out of its mouth. Just the way I feel about it. But get you a long de-hooker tool. Don't go down there with a little pair of pliers. Let me find. Don't go down there with this. Stick your hand close to that shark's mouth, because that hook, if it's a circle hook, is going to be on the side of that shark's mouth, and if you're down there on the side of his head trying to take it out with this, you're going to bite you. I mean, there's no questions asked. It's definitely dangerous. So if you have any fear about it, cut the leader. But take the de-hooker. All you're going to do, you got him beside the boat. You got a good wrap. If you're handling it, you know what you're doing. If not, get someone to just pull the rod up tight, hold the shark's head out of the water. But if you're not scared of it, you got a pair of gloves. You're going to want to wrap the main line 2 to 3 times around your hand. And again, be ready to hang on, because if he takes off, you're going to want this to break. Don't tap it, don't wrap it one time, because it's cut into you if he takes off. And then you're going to take the leader, hopefully it works without being a hook in his mouth. Slide it inside that circle. You're going to go all the way down to the hook, just like that. Pull the line tight, twist this, and then it should snatch right out, just like that. Now shark swims free, you've got your hook back. Just like that's the hook from our last trip. As you see, we got it back. So, now that that's explained on how to release, let's go into the next steps of what takes place with us. As I said, we are volunteers for the Cooperative Shark Program through NOAA. We try to identify size, the weight, definitely what species. We try to get male, female. You know, worst case scenario, if the shark's not looking so good, things are kind of chaotic, we pop the tag in and answer the questions as best as possible. But we try to gather as much information as we can, and once that information is gathered, then we have this card that NOAA sends us. And I'll show y'all a better look at that. Keep them in here so they don't get messed up. Whoop. Okay. So, the tag comes on it. There's your tag, that's what goes in the shark. We'll remove this. Once it comes out, you have this. That's all your information. You put your species, we put the GPS coordinates as close to possible is where we caught it. Easiest way to do that, if you have a GPS screen on your boat, when you catch one in your boat, when you hook up to that shark, just go ahead and hit the mark button. Just put a checkpoint right there. That way after the catch and everything's completed, it's easier just to go back on there and say, okay, this is where I caught it, and fill it out. But anyway, you'll get your length. You've got a total length, fork length, the weight, male, female, the distance roughly offshore, and you're going to want to use your, see, we got the tackle, which ours is always rod and reel. Fish condition, don't ever want to release a shark in bad condition. They help clean up our oceans, they're good for you. A lot of people hate them, but sharks are not to be hated, they're to be accepted. But try to release it in good condition, if not excellent. And then with us, obviously we send it in, and as you'll see, you have the angler there. Whoever catches it, your name will go here. Captain will be me, and we'll put your address on there, and sometimes Noah will send certain things to the address, you know, if you catch it and stuff like that. But anyway, along with this tag, what we're going to do is we've actually got a aluminum tagging stick by Cuda. Worst case scenario, we got it so we can't extend it. So it is possible that, you know, if weather conditions don't permit, we can at least stick a tag in it, take a guess as to weight and length, and get it figured out. But either way, you're going to take the tag, and there's a little notch in the top of the tip, and you put it in there like that. And then this little black thing on the bottom is what you'll actually stick your tag in. And once you have it like that, we tighten it down, straighten the tag up, and you're good to go. And that's what you're looking at. So what you're going to do is right towards the back side of the dorsal fin, just slightly under it, you're going to want a downward angle towards the back. That way there's no, the wound will heal a lot better. You don't want to tag it facing forward because he's going to be swimming with an open wound. You tag into the back, it'll heal over, your tag will stay intact. You don't have to worry about infections or anything crazy happening with the tag. What you're going to stab it in there all the way up to here, get a good deep tag set in it, and this is just going to pop off. It's a lot easier when it's wet. But set this over here out of the way. But essentially, as your shark, you just stuck tag in him. The tag goes in, as you see in my hand, it'll set sideways in there so it doesn't come out, and this will be sticking out. So if the shark is ever recaptured, ideally they get it side of their boat, they read this, they take the weight, they take the measurements, everything needed necessary. They contact Noah through a form that you can fill out and let them know, say, hey, this was the number and we recorded all this, and the shark keeps its tag. Most people are not really capable of being able to record all that data, and sometimes just the way conditions work, it's not possible for them to record the data and leave the tag in the shark. So Noah then requests that just cut the tag off, and you'll actually mail it into them, and again try to keep all the data, and you know, about how long was it, about how much did he weigh, you know, did you see that it was a sandbar, was it a bull shark, whatever it may be. And then you'll mail that back in, and he'll no longer have a tag in him, but we'll have a recatch and we'll know a little bit of information about it. Now, that's all the stuff as far as how we go, how Noah works, how we work with him. But to let y'all know on a further distance, we try to give all of our clients that book shark charters with us just a little bit extra than the benefit of knowing you helped out the shark population, how things are going. So we actually have a website that should be published up and running here very soon, and on that you'll be able to go under tag sharks. I will keep up with your name. You'll actually have a picture of your shark, if possible a picture of you with your shark, and as I said, you'll be able to name it, all the information will be up under it, and I'll actually keep up with this information on there. So if your shark is ever recaptured, Noah will email me and contact me on the recapture data, and I will put that under there as well also. So it kind of gives you as an extra incentive as a client of mine, that you'll be able to actually know that, hey, this is my shark, and it goes and extends beyond just booking a shark trip and saying, hey, we caught a shark. To Noah, your shark is simply a number, and it's solely for research. So the name of the shark will not be legit as far as to them, but as far as us, is something that we give to you and try to make your experience better, and knowing that you can grow with a shark, especially with little ones. Moms, dads, you know, come out, tag a shark, let your little kids name it, keep up with it. They can follow it on there. We're gonna have some merch coming out hopefully this summer, if not by the end of the year. We've got some designs and stuff we're working on that'll actually have a kid's shirt that some type of I hadn't really decided, it's still in the works, but it'll have some type of shark something on it, and it'll say, I caught my first shark with All Out Fishing Charters for the kids. So the kids are not going to be able to reel it in. It's very intense. It can take multiple people to catch them at times, but parents, aunts, uncles, definitely book the trip. I promise your kids will enjoy it, and I promise you they'll love to be able to name a shark after them. Outside of that, that's pretty much all I've got for you. So hopefully that helps all y'all to be able to go out and catch your own sharks. And if you have any more questions, please let us know. And you can contact me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and obviously YouTube. Phone number is 850-582-0870. And again, we're down in Destin, Florida, so if you want to go out with us, just give us a shout and let us know. I'll be glad to put you on the water. And we'll see y'all next time. Thank y'all.